How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome to back skibbity bop bop, brand new video. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, starting off with the first thing, guys, we have basically a new article that's come out from I think Famitsu. I could be wrong. I think it's Famitsu, a Japanese article about Legends ZA. So, if you've seen this tweet by Ami at Japan saying it's out now, don't get jebaited into thinking the game is out now. That's not the case. It just means that they basically just have like an article that's out describing the game. So I thought we could take a look at it, see what it says. Just a preliminary review about the game from them, because yes, a bunch of like of these like not insider people, but a bunch of these like review websites like IGN and stuff like that are going to get their hands on the games earlier than the rest of us peasants. So let's see what they say though. Preliminary review: a new Pokemon battle that harmonizes Pokemon like brain battle elements and actions and more interesting. It's more interesting than expected. Now, this is a poor translation, so bear with me if I do say something wrong. Now, they say that it's finally about a week until the release. In this article, we'll introduce some recent media trial sessions. In this trial session, we divided the game into 4 parts: Daytime Wild Zone, Nighttime Battle Zone, Rag Cup Battle, and the Runaway Mega Evolution Pokemon Battle. In this article, we'll continue to write down their impressions of playing this, playing this game. So the action is not too difficult, and it is a real-time battle with Pokemon like brain battle elements. I don't know, brain battle, I guess, just a mistranslation, but they're basically just saying that it's similar to like previous Legends games like Arceus. So it's an action RPG with added action elements, such as hitting Pokemon directly with Poké Balls to catch them and avoiding Pokemon moves. It's also it is a new development that is a little different from the previous Pokemon game, with ZA being set in the urban redevelopment of Lumio City, of course, and that was originally launched for the first time back in 2013 with X and Y, so again, we know a bunch of this stuff. Again, it's a lot of information we're already aware of. Now, during the trial session, they explored Lumios, and one of the interesting things about this place, I guess, in this game, is the appearance of the city itself, which changes completely between night and day. And in preparation for night battles, the ZA Real, it's actually a main goal during the day to catch, train, and collect tools and different things from Pokemon. So like items, I guess, which I guess makes sense, right? Like the daytime, the city's going to look one way, and nighttime is going to look another way. Also, the wild zones change during like the story progress, like the actual locations you go to, they do change throughout the gameplay, right? Like you don't actually have the wild zones staying the same. They actually redevelop them and change them. But it makes sense that daytime, it's all about collecting, doing story, progressing and stuff. And then nighttime, you go and actually like battle the people in the ZA Real. Now, when you start playing, the first thing you see is the beautiful streets of Lumios. All of the trial sessions were played on Nintendo Switch 2 edition, although it cannot be compared to the Switcher version. The graphics are absolutely beautiful. In particular, the effects of the scenes in which Mega Evolution Pokemon are active, which we will describe later, are flashy and the graphics seem to be cleaner. They do have new screenshots here, which I don't think we've seen these before necessarily. I think we've seen maybe one of these. But here they all are, which is, wow, that's a lot of screenshots, not gonna lie. We're gonna go back here and look at the first one. So it's just the map. We have a city, like a city view overlooking the entire city from here, which is really neat. We got the trainer running with, again, oh no, they're about to be attacked by a freaking, what is it, like Floofy? It's not a Mareep. It's a Flaffy, isn't it? Man, I'm bad with my Pokemon names. And I'm a guy who does this for a living, by the way. Either way, we can actually see here another one of these like booster spots. Like this is what takes you up on the roofs, right? You go here and it boosts you up on the roof. So no, you're not going to be Spider-Man climbing the side of the walls and stuff. That's not possible. You also get to see the canal here with a few Magikarps in it, which is interesting to see that there's not any other water types that can be visible at the beginning here. And I do wonder, like, will Pokemon just approach us, or will we be able to enter the water itself? Like, we'll be able to like surf on the water or whatever, because I don't think we've seen much about that. Also, the camera is back, so you'll be able to take photos, which is neat. That's something we already kind of like have spoken about. And also, by the way, you don't always have to battle Pokemon. You can just throw Pokeball at them, just like you did in Arceus, just by sneaking up on them or just like closing up on them. You can just throw Pokeballs without having to actually lower their health. If you're lucky, you will catch them. If you're not, you're not. But also, you can see the registration of different Pokemon to the Pokédex, something we've seen before. Here is a Pokemon that's, I guess, knocked out, I would assume, like, because it's all fuzzy, like its head is like spinning, which I guess is what happens instead of a Pokemon fainting in this game. Like, Pokemon will not just die. Instead, they will just like get knocked out or stunned or whatever. And that's essentially what's happening in this case, I would assume, where you're not actually like gonna kill it or whatever. It's just the fella's just had a little bit of like, you've kind of rocked his world in the most aggressive way. Here we get to see some more combat. You can see on the borders that the border turns red when your trainer actually takes damage. So it literally shows you taking damage, which is pretty neat. think the second image here, if I'm not mistaken, shows like a similar screen. Yeah, it's a similar thing. The next page here, 13, I think, actually we go back to the other one, 12. I think that one shows us, again, another battle against the very aggressive Houndours all around this place. Next up, we have some water attacks being sprouted off. I don't know who's even shooting that. Is that Binnacle? Is it? It kind of looks like it. Against a, Floette of all things, which is interesting. Next page here, we have another photo. What is this one, though, going to be? It's like number 14. So I think it's the same battle, though. Yeah, it's the same battle against the same thing. Again, you can see that the moves are basically telegraphed, sort of, so you know kind of which direction they're going in. And if you run out of the way, you will dodge it. So it's going to be very important, this game, for actually staying actively, like, you know, aware of where your Pokemon is and your positioning. Like, it's going to be important. And here we can see a sneak up. This gives us a good indication of how close you can get to certain Pokemon before they lose their shit. So there is a chance that you could sneak up on a Houndoom like this. If you have a better Pokeball, like an Ultra Ball or something later into the game, you could just use that. Or if you have some of the special Pokeballs, I know there was like specific Pokeballs back in, I can't remember if it was the Heavy Ball or whatever, that was really effective at catching Alpha Pokemon. So that's probably going to be the case again, most likely in this game, which is pretty neat. Now, if we check here, we can see the actual attack taking place, where the trainer gets simply just mauled by this thing, if the page can load, because having a bit of a scuff time. But yeah, it's just a Houndoom attacking against a lot of that footage, which we've seen before. Again, I think most of the stuff is similar stuff. New trainer, I don't think we've seen this trainer before in footage, but cool to see. Also, we see the victory here, like when you actually rank up, going from, what is this, W to V. So from W rank to V rank, how that works and how that looks. Again, that we have seen, so that's not necessarily brand new. But again, there's a lot of small details, which is pretty neat to see, like, that they're sharing it at least. Followed by, I think right here is actually one of the screens that I think is worthwhile to take a look at, mainly because it features something interesting, which is the actual Mega Stone for one of the Pokemon. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the Mega Stone for Mega Victory Bell, if I'm not mistaken. So it does mean that some Mega Stones will be probably received by taking down Rogue Megas, right? Like, actually taking down the Megas will give you their Mega Stones. I think that's what this might be implying, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the actual case. Again, they talk about a lot of this stuff and explain a lot of things here. The way to catch Pokemon is similar to Arceus. It's okay to throw a ball, Monster Ball, directly at a Pokemon on the field. The control includes locking onto the Pokemon with ZL and throwing the ball with ZR, which sounds pretty decent, especially with a Switch 2. Like, literally just holding this thing and, like, you know, thinking about how that's going to be, like, ZL, ZR, like that, you know, it's going to be pretty neat. I'm not super worried about, like, if it's not going to feel good, because I've already tried it out. I tried the game out when I played the demo, and it felt smooth. I'm not going to lie. The game, like, if there's anything I will say, maybe it's not the graphically most stunning or interesting game in the world, but I ain't going to lie, man. That shit looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That shit looked pretty fucking sick. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, I'm not expecting it to be much of an issue catching Pokemon like that. I think it's gonna work very like intuitively. But yeah, so they go through a bunch of other stuff here, talking about like how, you know, the different buttons work. For attacks, you press A, B, X, Y buttons during lock on. You can instruct the Pokemon to perform the corresponding move. There was no need to aim at the opponent. So-called aim. Wait, so-called aim? What do you mean by that? But yeah, basically they're just implying that you don't actually have to aim with, like, your Pokemon. They will just attack they will always hit the target as long as there's nothing blocking the target. And the same thing goes the other way. They will always hit you unless you run away and dodge their attacks. Like, you actually see in this photo in particular here, sort of like the direction it's going is kind of like almost outlined in a weird way. So you know exactly where it's going to hit and all that. So again, super important just to, like, be aware of that when you do play the game. Another unique feature is the players does not control the fighting Pokemon, but only gives instructions as a trainer. The main character has evasive actions, but unfortunately, saying avoid for the Pokemon is impossible to directly instruct them. So yes, the thing is, you're gonna have to, like, learn timings. I think that's how you make sure your Pokemon doesn't get hit, is by making sure that if you notice the enemy Pokemon is about to load up an attack, if you know it's a slower attack, like, I don't know, Hydro Pump, which takes a while maybe to charge up, take that opportunity to try to move out of the way to dodge the attack if it's going to go in a straight line, if it's telegraphed, or if it's an AoE attack. Like, I mean, again, you cannot really dodge Earthquake because it's going to hit a large area, but certain attacks that are AoEs, you could try to avoid them because it's going to be telegraphed for you. So that's pretty neat. And here we get to see again the battle in the, what do they call it? Like, in the restaurant. This is to get your rank up done. That's specifically the one where it took place. Now, in order to have an effective night, it may be important to not aim too hard at surprise. So yeah, I mean, I guess they're trying to imply that you should probably try to, you know, surprise attack people, but also maybe not do too much of this. But apparently, like, this section doesn't last that long. By the way, at the time of the trial session, day and night changed over a certain period of time. I didn't measure it strictly, but it feels like it changed after about 15 minutes. So basically, the ZA Real nights could be around that range, which I think sounds about right. And it will be long enough where people wouldn't get bored of it and bored of being stuck in it. So I think that sounds reasonable. The ZA Real is a Pokemon competition held every night in the city with the goal of getting to the A rank, of course, as we already know. We can already see some battles right here with a few trainers. So yeah, I don't think I've missed anything here. A new area here. Maybe we haven't seen this area. You also do get a warning. If it turns red, you've been spotted, basically. If it's yellow, it means, like, you are in the danger zone of being noticed. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, new trainer, by the way. They're just looking fresh. Got that fresh cut. And also, let's not forget, you do have these missions you can pick up, right? Like missions that you can pick up, which basically give you even more points to get you up in that rank, right? And that's really important to do if you want to get, like, coins and ways to get up in rank faster. And then, of course, there is the rank up match itself, which we've already spoken about. So, again, really neat. We already know a lot of this information. I just thought I would share it again. Next up, though, there is a new trailer that's dropped. Or not trailer, but commercial more so, where we see... the guy from Stranger Things, I don't know what his name is, but he's playing ZA, and, you know, they show here Battle Zone activated, which is exactly how it's going to look like when we play it. We see him running around with the Greninja, of all things, which is level 42, which that's a good indication of, you know, what level, around what range we should probably be able to get our hands on it. I mean, who knows? Greninja might be available early on. And here you can see an attack from behind, actually, with Night Slash, like sneaking up and literally targeting and attacking the poor little Inkay and destroying it. Same thing with fighting the Rogue Tyranitar Mega. Also, by the way, how did man go from this, you know, from this shit to this shit? And it make no sense. Weird ad, but yeah. Again, they also show the Mega Greninja. Nothing too crazy. Just a short little ad. Just thought I would mention it. Also, by the way, some people are already starting to get their hands on the special download code bonus, which comes with, you know, if you buy the game from specific places, you basically get, like, I think this is from GameStop, if I'm not, like, GameStop? I think GameStop. I think GameStop has this, where you basically get a trench coat and pants set, which basically just gives you early access to it. There's a similar set that's already in the game, so it's not something that you necessarily have to get your hands on, just as an FYI. But yeah, then also... some people over on Matome Pokemon think that maybe Pokopia, which is the brand new Pokemon game that's coming out like next year, which is a spin-off that's similar to Animal Crossing, may actually have been hinted by one of the cards from the TCG set we got like a while back. So it could be that was actually hinted here with Tyranitar, which is kind of cute and interesting to see. They might have been literally hinting it with like the kind of like, you know, Minecraft-esque environment, just kind of funny. So just thought I would share that too. Next up, though, we do have another new trailer. Again, this trailer seems to be for the Japanese people, mainly, with a bunch of, you know, famous, like, Japanese actors, as far as I'm aware, in it. Nothing too crazy. It's just it goes from day to night. The ZA Real begins and all that. So, again, in terms of gameplay, I don't think there's anything in here that we haven't already seen. I will still show it, though. So it's just a battle against this guy, fancy-looking guy, by the way, with a scissor. We got Zygarde just aura farming. The dude's literally aura farming, like right in front of fucking, like, the tower. And if we go through, there's the same trailer, but from the opposite filming angle, and with a female actress this time. And she goes from ZA Real to daytime instead, with catching mechanics like Hippopotas and stuff being fucking caught, and just chilling at a cafe, having a what is that? It's not a, what is that actually? Like, just like a little pie, okay? It's a little pie. But yeah, again, nothing too crazy. And same thing here. Zygarde just aura farming, dude, looking at, like, Lumio's tower. You know how it is. You know how it is. You know how this guy is. But yeah. Also, if you haven't seen, the Legends ZA display box has shown up. Again, this is just a display box. Does not mean the game is inside of this. It just means that this is most likely what the actual case is going to look like when it drops. And this is just now to show off the game, to get people, like, excited to pre-order it and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much that, though. I think I've gone through most of the important stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I think at least. I could be totally wrong, but it is what it is. Also, guys, just a quick little random side note. Right down now in my description, you guys can go and check out Jesok's game Gaming. These guys actually sell a bunch of equipment for your Nintendo Switch. And if you use my code RuffledRowlit, you can get a discount. So definitely go check it out. They are even doing a free case with Switch 2, which you can get like that kind of stuff too. They have a bunch of offers for a bunch of equipment. I have links for all their stuff down below. And if you do get stuff from them, I get a bit of a kickback. It'd be appreciated. I have a bunch of their stuff, you know, like a bunch of their equipment, and I love using it. It's great stuff. And also, yes, they didn't, you know, pay me to say this, but I want to do it anyways because they did give me some cool stuff to try out, and I love their equipment. So definitely check them out. Link down below, and that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.